Hi, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome to the penultimate episode. This is episode session 24, just before the finale, the calm before the storm. And we are here with our five heroes back together again after three very interesting separate storylines, which they will probably finally be able to tell each other once they reunite. So, for the warm up, this is the warm up question I tend to ask with every campaign on the penultimate session, and that is look back to your character on session 1. Look way back to how your character was in session 1 and look at your character now. Please explain to us how you feel your character has developed, grown, evolved, for better or for worse, throughout this campaign, throughout this adventure.
Okay, sure. um, so, episode 1, Helisair. Much more chant-centric. Much more... what's the word I'm looking for?
Much more feminine now?
That's a different kind of evolution.
She was actually more feminine in the beginning, yes.
Yeah, she's seen some stuff since then. Well, yeah, there is of course that. She seemed. She seemed a more controlled and steady burn, if you will. And just as our sessions progressed, she became less matronly, less chanty, and more explosive, less in control of herself. It's been very interesting watching that. I actually went through a couple of choice episodes last night to kind of get myself into that kind of headspace. So yeah, it's been interesting from, an outside view of things, because I don't usually look back on the character. So it's kind of eye-opening. It was really cool. I think I will go ahead and focus primarily on all that. Of course, the physicality of it is undeniable. She turned into a man. She got better.
I got better.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Follow-up question for Helisair. I know Helisair always says that she never has any regrets. She says that. I'm curious, is that really true in her core, that she doesn't really have any regrets? Yes or no? Is that really true?
Up until recently, that might have been true, or it might have been blocked off enough to the point that she would not have given it a second thought. Since really, kind of like I said earlier, it's easier when you're alone. When she thought she had no more direct family, then yeah, no regrets. I'm doing the best I can do in the time I can do it. But now that she's surrounded by the things that used to make her feel more part of a family, she wouldn't really admit it, but yeah, she's getting all sorts of wonderful regrets these days.
What would you say is her biggest one?
Oh God. Biggest regret for Hallie. That is a very tough one. You know, despite Hannah.
Sorry.
You're not sorry at all.
There's one session
That
left.
was one of the top ones I was considering, but not the second part of it. It's the emotional attachment. Don't you dwarves understand? It's the emotional attachment. No.
What?
To be fair, Hannah, she tried. To
Yeah.
be fair, she tried several times.
You could have had a Theron.
Yes.
You could have had those bonuses to your rolls too.
The entire second half of our campaign.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
That's
Rachel.
okay. I can't really say the distance between herself and Theo these days because they're still like he's still undoubtedly her best friend.
Mhm.
And she absolutely is supportive of the choices he has made because, yeah, absolutely, his daughter comes first. But I don't know if it's just that our characters have been, at the wrong place at the wrong time, but there's a distance that she feels is more palpable. And even as I'm talking about this, I'm sorry, Theo's actually number 2 now.
Okay.
The biggest regrets. The resurrection.
Okay.
The resurrection.
Okay.
She should not have buckled on that.
Okay. Very honest answer.
Yeah.
Andrea's changed quite a lot. She started out very selfish, and she didn't really have anything to live for. She was very accepting of the fact that she might die soon, just because of what she did for a living. And I think now, since then, she's made a lot of friends, and she's gotten close to a few people. Not many, but really close to a few people. This party. That's kind of it, but still she's got people now. And that's given her something worth living for, and worth fighting for. And because of that, she's grown a lot more selfless and willing to do for others. And she wasn't that person before at all. She's also really mad at the party for making her all squishy and soft and fuzzy. And
Yeah. Ditto.
She was kind of cool with being hard and cold, and they've ruined her.
We don't accept our love.
He's been
She's
thawed.
like, I cry all the time now. I
Yes.
hate you people.
She's thawed and melted into tears. Yes.
Yeah.
It's easier when you're alone.
Yeah.
Follow-up question for Andrea. I know that Andrea, like you said, has gotten a lot closer with a specific group of people. Does that mean necessarily that she has an easier time trusting people, or is that not really changed for her?
No, that hasn't changed. She trusts these people. She was sort of forced to trust these people out of necessity, and they didn't break her trust too much as of yet, even though they have pissed her off at times. But yeah, I would say she doesn't trust people more willingly. Maybe a little, but really not much. Yeah. I mean, you know what happened at the end of my last session and
Yes.
who I talked to. So a little bit, but she has trouble. She has trouble.
Does she trust herself?
Yeah, I would say that's the only person she's ever trusted.
If she trusts herself, why was she asking Cedric if she could go through the harrowing?
She thinks that I don't think they really tell the circle mages too much what it is. It's to test your abilities and this, that, and the other thing. And she knew it had to do with demons. I think she was hoping it would improve her odds against them. But it's more just because of what happened at the circle. I would say, if anything, she trusts herself more now than she did at the start to not be possessed. Yeah, she's someone who's, ever since she stopped trusting other people, she's always been able to lean back on herself. So I would say she's trusted herself, and probably more so now that the journey's been going on. Not less. Yeah.
Good answer. Who would like to go next?
I can.
Okay. Cedric's no longer naked as much. Go ahead. What else?
Boo!
Boo.
Yes.
Isn't that just it? Like, just focus on the naked?
We need more crowbars.
Yes, we need more crowbars.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, a lot. Obviously, a lot has changed in Cedric. His relationship with being a Templar, I think, has been changed a little bit. Before he was more judgmental. I think like the whole like hidden mage thing. You know, stuff like that. He's still kind of like that, but he's definitely changing. I think also since the beginning he's always been about like we're supposed to protect mages from themselves and the outside, and we're also supposed to protect other people from magic. But I think that is very like that core belief and what being a Templar has been cemented even more so through traveling with these people. And I mean, there was also that change of like, or the change in questioning of who am I really? Before, like when he came into this, he thought he was kind of his own person and had his own memories and stuff, but he learned later that it wasn't only his. Or it's still, he's still trying to piece it out in his mind, but because it is his, but it's not like his body's, and yeah. But I think he's more acceptive towards that, especially from the last session when he talked with someone else who's been through that. So I think he's starting to grasp who he really is and trying to make that his own.
Kevin, follow-up question for Cedric. Does Cedric feel closer or farther away from the Templar Order?
I think it depends on which Templar Order you're talking about. The Navarran one, I don't think he feels that close to it right now, simply because of like their beliefs on the chant and stuff. I think he's realizing that there needs to be more change within the Templars. Like with each interaction he's getting with Templars, he's understanding it's like, okay, things need to change. I still will fight by your guys' side. I respect everything that you do, but there needs to be some growth here because it's not working out right now.
I think for Kenna, looking back at where she started and where she is now, I think she's really found a lot of confidence in herself that she didn't have before. I think when she was younger, it was all about pleasing her mom and trying to be, the best that she can be. And now I think she's overgrown, like she's grown above that. And it's more about the bigger picture for her. I think the people that she's found herself with have really molded her and changed her into before she was fine.
Did Sam become Mr. Roboto for anybody else, or is it my connection?
Yeah.
I'm a robot.
You just suddenly became a robot. It wasn't at the beginning, but something happened halfway.
Sam, you're a Terminator.
It's true. That's it. All right, let me try and get out of the call and get back in. Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
You owe him for that tremendous setup.
Is that better?
Yes. Yes.
So much better.
Much better.
Yes.
Could you
Okay,
start
okay.
over? I apologize. Could you start over again
No.
from the beginning? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So at the beginning, I feel like she's gained a lot of confidence from where she was at the start of the campaign. I feel that she was kind of lost. She was confused about her faith. She was confused about who she was as a person. She was looking for her people. And she's just in general, she was a mess. And I think once she found everybody, she slowly started to build herself up and become sort of this strong, confident, she's trying to become a leader for her people. And I think that's a big learning process that she's still trying to learn. I can't remember what else I said. I think she's also learned a lot of trust. I mentioned trust. These people have taught her how to trust, and she's wanted to extend that relationship with the Ferelden's when it comes to the relationship with the Avar. And she wants to, seeing all these worlds and even going into space. I mean, she's seen what progress can do for the people, and she wants to bring that to the Avar. And she loves their traditions and she loves their ways, but at the same time, it wouldn't hurt, to progress and, bring themselves into the world and stop isolating themselves. I feel like I think she feels that if they continue with what they're doing, they're eventually going to just suffocate and you die off unknown to the world. And she doesn't want that.
Follow-up question. Does she herself actually feel any regrets?
Regrets. Before the last episode, the one that we recorded by ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there was a lot of regret with, being a sole survivor kind of thing and not finding your people. Maybe she didn't fight hard enough. I feel like there's been a completion with that last episode that really lifted a lot of that burden up and I think changed that regret a lot.
So considering what did happen in your session in the last episode, I am curious about, not without giving anything away, I am curious about the fact that you consider that to be completion because of the state that those people are in, or what resulted. Anyway, without giving too much away. So I don't know. You don't have to answer that question. It was more of I found that interesting. Not to say that your answer was good or was a good or bad answer. There's no right or wrong. It's just, that's interesting. But we'll talk about that more when you guys reunite. Hannah.
Sure.
Okay. Theo's changed a lot from where he was initially. So he was a bit like Andre. He was very slow to trust. Not in the same way, kind of as he was initially developed. He was always developed that he would seem like he trusted everybody in the sense that he would be kind of the same with everybody, friendly and comical, but he kept his relationships very shallow. And obviously he's infamous for the arrow in like session 1 or 2. He didn't trust people and he felt it important to be defensive. I feel like it's an injustice not to mention that he did in the beginning have a crush on Andrea, and when that happened, I feel like part of that was for the same reason. I think part of him knew that wasn't going to go anywhere. So it was kind of like a defense mechanism. Like he felt safe doing that. I think he wanted to play it safe. I think he didn't expect anybody to sympathize with the Dwarven people or with him as a person. And the first biggest shock to his system in the beginning was that everybody just kind of jumped to help him with the Anvil of the Void. And then that was like huge for him. That was when he started to think of them as friends, because he was concerned about it and the group just all kind of leapt to to fixing it, even when they had their own concerns at the time. That was big for him. So he did start to trust the group, and he did start to have his loyalties tested on numerous occasions because of conflicts that we had, which I felt have helped him grow. My favorite thing that's changed about Theo is his character took, in my opinion, an amazing turn in how it turned out with his daughter. Theo became somebody who now lives to be a good father to her, and I love that, because we all joke about like ships and romantic love, and I've actually really enjoyed playing Theo as a representation of a different kind of love, that paternal love for his daughter. And that's why he's been hesitant to, pursue something with Halasea or with anybody, because he wants to live for her and he wants to be a good father, and that wasn't something that I foresaw when I made him at the beginning of the campaign. So he's essentially given his life away to that purpose, and I think it's very noble. And the last point is that he's not over what happened to him with the resurrection. There's just been more important things to talk about, but it has also had a positive effect in the sense that he doesn't fear death. And I think that was always an unknown in his mind, like what happens when we die. And now that he's been through that, he doesn't actually have a fear of it anymore, especially because Rosie still thinks he's dead. So if he dies now, he feels like he used his second chance and he tried, and he's had that feeling before and it wasn't painful. So
that was very thorough.
Those are the thank you. Sorry.
So thorough, you actually ended up answering my follow-up question. So that works out.
Oh,
which is a good thing.
What was the follow-up question?
The follow-up question was surrounding was basically about Rosie, like your thoughts on his relationship, how he sees his relationship with Rosie moving forward, and it sounds like you've answered that question. So thank you.
Okay.
That saves me some time.
No worries.
All right.
Okay.
So the five of you were separated. You all had your own separate misadventures, and I know that all of you have been very nice about keeping your associated exploits a secret from each other, and now we can reveal it all. But first, I would like for all five of you to please roll initiative.
Okay.
All five of you, please.
Oh, goodness.
We're going to start with Andrea and Cedric then. Andrea and Cedric, if you guys will look to the map. So
Yeah.
You guys have been traveling for quite some time because you had an idea of where to go, where you should go. And right this moment, you guys, after, first of all, getting there to this point has been very difficult because the entire bubble, as we've been calling it, is chock full of spirits and demons, and it hasn't been a great vacation, let me tell you. But
Man.
the two of you did manage to finally break through the boundary of this fade bubble, and it feels like you've been submerged underwater for the last several days, and then all of a sudden you break through the surface of the water, and like all this fresh air starts to come in. Like you can take off your breathing mask and all this fresh air comes in through your lungs, and it just feels incredibly good. And things in the world are right again, at least in front of you. Behind you, there's some stuff going down. So it's interesting. And you guys find yourself here, relatively close to the city of Ghislaine. Relatively close.
Oh, okay.
And I believe right now it's just you and Cedric. I don't think you picked up anyone else.
We had two people with us.
Violetta
but
and
I think they...
Rosicale.
Oh, wait. Violetta was with you. Yes, Violetta and Rosicale were with
and
you.
Razakale, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Violetta and Thank you for reminding me. Yes, Violetta and Rosicale were with you. So, Violetta, as soon as you emerge from the bubble, she actually will turn around and study it carefully, like holding her hand up to the boundary, like putting her hand through, taking her hand out. Razakale is going to have her whip out, and she's just going to survey the immediate area, just make sure that nothing is going to jump out at you, even though it's, especially since that's pretty much been your life for the last who knows how long it's been. Because again, even within the bubble itself, you don't have an inkling of how much time has passed. But that seems to not be the case anymore now that you're out of the bubble. Time seems to be flowing normally for you, coherently.
Gotcha.
Violetta, you playing the hokey pokey over there?
She sort of chuckles to herself. No, she's just saying, I'm just trying to figure out, well, anything. She says, this phenomenon is unlike anything I've ever run into. And that's saying a lot. As you probably have seen in my wagon, I've seen quite a bit of really twisted things.
I have seen that, yeah.
She sort of chuckles a little bit at that.
Oh. No, it's definitely weird. I'm glad to be away from it. If we're near Gislane, we'll probably have to get to the road and head south, I would assume. Alright.
She says, she points down at the ground. Watch that very carefully.
Okay.
And if you watch very carefully, you can see it's very subtle, but if you focus on it, you can see that the area of effect is spreading, like it's moving ever so slightly over the blades of grass.
Oh no. Just...
It's growing, she says. Within a matter of days, I'm assuming it'll probably envelope Gislane, Montfort, Cherneau, Perrindale.
Oh, all we can hope to do is get together with the others and stop it, right?
Yes. Hopefully, they've managed to find their own ways out of that nightmare.
Hopefully.
What say you?
Hopefully they also thought to go to Val Royale. Because that's where we thought to go.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Razakale is going to approach Cedric at this moment. What is Cedric doing?
Cedric would also be surveying, making sure nothing is following them, and like from the inside, and then also kind of checking the surrounding area for any hostiles.
You still got it, Brody. Those last demons. That you seem to take them out very quickly.
It's what I was trained to do. I expect no less from my training.
Training, yes. Those stairs were never a match for you.
No.
She laughs a little. She throws back her head and laughs a little bit. Meanwhile, Hallie, you guys also managed to make your way out of where you guys were.
Alrighty.
You guys managed to make your way out here, a bit southeast, near Montfort. And if I believe, if I remember correctly, you have Owlette with you, and a giant grove of Sylvans as well. A giant army of Sylvans.
Yeah, dude.
Did you have anyone else that I forgot besides Acorn, of course? Acorn is there as well.
Big fuzzy wuzzy werewolf.
Oh, Plim is with you too.
Yeah, we have Plim.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and you know, Theo.
Yes, and Theo. Yes, Theo. Plim is going to scratch his butt because
Yes, Plim.
because it's Plim.
Yeah.
And the person that he was looking for isn't around, and that person probably would not have approved. But
And
he
that's why Hallie should have been queen.
he sniffs the air, and you can see, like his chest heaving out, puffing out, his man boobs. Twins' man boobs pop out as he sniffs the air as his lungs fill with air.
Yeah.
Finally, he says, my sense of smell actually is clear. I feel like I've been fighting allergies this entire time in there. Sort of like cracks his neck a few times.
Yeah.
As long as that's got nothing to do with where you're scratching.
He shakes his head. Nope. Alright, he says, now that I'm out, you guys are going to go find your friends.
Yes.
Right.
And you're gonna go
And-
find your lady.
I have to go find my queen, yes. Samson.
Your nose
Cool.
is so good. Can you... You didn't spend a lot of time with my friends, but is there any chance that you can pick them up as well?
I'll definitely keep an eye on them if I catch whiff,
Good.
he says.
Thank you.
Hey, kid, he's saying to Samson.
Aww.
Now that we've gone through the hard part, do you think you can keep up? And I'm sure Samson will nod. So, I think Plim, Samson, and Lithia will follow him to go find Queen Jody.
Yes.
Before he goes,
Yes.
Theo will take Clem by the shoulder. Remember what we talked about? You're
Yeah.
not expected. You're not expected to be perfect. Just know that you're not going to get it right straight away.
He says, you think maybe we should start a group or something, like a support group for, I don't know, dads who end up finding kids they didn't even know about?
I don't know. I mean, how often does that happen?
I don't know. He sort of looks he takes another glance towards Samson, and then looks back.
You'll be
He's a
fine.
good kid, though. Yep.
You guys are gonna love our session.
You're gonna love their session.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're gonna love it. You'll be fine. Good luck.
Well, good luck to you too, Theo. And I hope that you survive this, so maybe you can find your little one as well.
Thank you.
If you're ever in the
There's a
castle,
left.
if you're ever back in New Denram, look me up. Maybe we could, well, I think he's a little too old for a play date, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what? You're a werewolf. We could probably bend the rules on this one.
Don't say that
And
around
tell-
Maximilian. He hates it when I say that.
Right. Yeah. Give the king my regards, by the way, and hopefully I'll see little Nathan again soon.
He does a little with his chest, and then he will join Samson and Lithia south. They'll be heading south. Meanwhile, I believe we are with Kenna right now. So Kenna, you are standing next to Archer, and you are on board the Tempest Dream.
Yeah.
You are flying in the sky, and you can clearly see the big giant bubble in front of you. You guys are kind of flying around it. We're going to assume for right now that Gerard is below deck, and I think that Captain Maelstrom will approach you. Now you've given your Archer has already introduced you to everybody, and Captain Maelstrom will come up to you, and she says, "So you're a Varian?
I am.
I can't say I've had much contact with you folks. I think I've seen you around before, but you tend to keep your distance.
It's true. We sort of isolate ourselves.
Ken as a robot again.
Robot? Oh my god.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll finish up this scene. It's not going to be that long of a scene. She looks back at the big giant hemisphere, and she says, "So you say that your friends might know how to fix that thing?"
We have an idea. I hope.
Ideas is more than I think anybody else around Thetis probably has right about now.
I just have to find them first. But they're out there, I'm sure. I hope.
You said that you wanted to make your way to the White Spire. I think we can make that in record time. What say you, Vic? Vic kind of, the golem, gives his salute, and he says, "Aye, aye, Captain." And he will continue steering his way around the big bubble thing. Meanwhile, back to Andrea and Cedric. You guys are traveling along that road. I think you guys are trying to make your way to Ghislaine as much as possible. And just when you reach the highway, you will end up seeing... Well, it's hard to miss it. I'm going to say you guys see them first. You end up seeing this large mass of Sylvans walking. There's probably a good, 24 of them. 24 trees walking along the highway, led by one tree that you recognize, Owlet and Acorn, and as soon as you manage to spot Owlet and Acorn right in front, you see Halasair and Theobin.
Templar?
Hello. Picking up more
Good
friends.
to
I
see you alive. Good to see you alive.
Good to see.
Yes. Well, we brought an army. Hope you don't mind.
Yes.
It's good to see you again, Cedric, he says. Andrea, I'm glad to see that you managed to survive the nightmare behind us.
I don't know if Andrea's there or not, or rather, I don't know if Kimmy is there or not, but Hallie will go up for a hug from her.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to assume that she doesn't pull back, but we'll see when Kimberly comes back.
Yes.
And Owlet will say, "Oh, excuse me, I should introduce you." He turns to one of the trees that is right next to him. "This is Loquisha." And
Theo gives a very pointed look, like that.
The female tree, female-voiced tree, clearly Citrus, gives a bow.
She had a nice pair of citrus.
Yeah, she has a nice pair of citrus. Yeah. Sweet and sour in all the right places.
Yes.
It's honor to meet you, LaQuisha. A fine name for a fine tree.
LaQuisha bows and she says, "Hello, skinny one. We haven't quite gotten through, proper social cues yet, but we're working on it."
They've only just arrived.
They're working on it.
Kimmy, once within range, as it were, Hallie has come up to give you a big ol' hug.
We're all together! Yay!
Mostly.
I was getting water. So yeah,
Okay,
I'll give you a hug
to
too.
catch you up. Yeah, we ran into you guys, and you just saw Theo and Halaser with an army of sylvan trees. And
Yep.
Alex just introduced you to a female tree called Laquisha.
Lucretia is the other tree.
That was my reaction.
Yeah,
Hallie's
I'll
just-
hug Hallie. I'll hold her really, really tight.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. We've done well. What have you? You've got an army of trees.
Yes,
I'm fantastic. I have my dwarf, and I have an army of trees. And I have news.
You have news. We have news too.
Before you give your news, I think Violetta will at least approach.
That's right, Violetta.
Violetta's there as well, and she will say,
Oh,
Hallie dear.
Yeah, she's getting hugged too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crushed, perhaps.
Hallie, can we not tell Violetta that thing yet? I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah. The funny thing is, she's probably saying this while still hugging Violetta, so probably like,
That thing? What that thing?
we will apparently tell you later.
Alright, well.
It will be good. It's good to see you. I didn't expect to see you here. Are you okay? Are your people okay?
My people are fine. They,
Are you okay?
Well, she looks behind her at the big thing. I think I speak for everyone when I say we've all felt better, but I think you know my pain.
That I do.
We should find Kenna and get to safety.
Yes.
We have Razi too.
Yes,
Oh.
Razi wills. Razi actually is eyeing the Sylvans very untrust.
It's
like, with
okay,
a very
Razi.
look of untrust.
It's okay, Razzie. They're friends. They're going to
Yes.
help us.
She says, one talking tree was weird enough. Many talking trees.
Leave
Will
it
become
to our
normal in a
talking-
matter of time, apparently.
Leave it to our talking darkspawn friend to criticize things for being weird.
My sister speaks true.
Yes, I talk in Darkspawn, but
Well-
these are trees. Trees
They
don't talk.
fight in numbers, right? They are willing to fight on our side. Safety in numbers.
When there's
I
a
get it,
hole
I
in the
get it.
sky and the bubble filled with the fades, you just kind of accept who's willing to fight on your side.
Fine, I won't be picky. She says, on one condition. She says to the trees, I want some oranges.
All things in time.
One of the,
Rosie, don't
trees-
hurry things.
When she says I want some oranges, like two of the orange trees go, oh! Like they've just been like, how dare you? How dare it's like that's sexual harassment, like very.
Oh God, we're gonna have to start like
Okay.
Sylvan sensitivity training.
I
Yes.
think, Razzie, we need to have a talk about consent.
She says, but
If
it's
the
only
trees are willing to
oranges.
partake- If they're willing to partake of their oranges, they will give you their oranges, but you can't just take them, okay? They have rights.
She folds her arms and says, they say they want to help. Well, if they want to help, she starts grumbling.
Oh.
They don't owe you anything, Razzie.
She says, look, if I give you my spit all the time, they can give me oranges. And then at that point,
Wait,
like,
what?
At that point, Violetta turns around and says, what?
Yeah.
She does what for you, Theobin? I have been away for very
Can I
long.
have an orange, please? Lucretia, can I have an orange, please?
You traitor!
I asked.
Come on! Her too?
Theobin, darling, you and I are going to have to do a lot of catching up now. I need to find out what's been going on between you and Razikael.
Yeah.
Or do I, actually?
I don't think you want to. Violetta. I don't think you want to.
Please, lights fire now.
Meanwhile, up on the Tempest Stream, Kenna, you will hear a whistle.
Yes.
And you turn around and you see Archer, and he's sort of has his he nods to a specific direction to follow him.
I go.
He goes over to the back of the ship, and then he points, and you can see behind the ship a giant flock of eagles. A huge giant flock of eagles are following the ship.
Oh.
Led by a specific eagle that you know leads them. A very massive, great eagle. But there's a whole flock of them following the ship.
Oh wow. She just stands there. She's brimming. She's smiling a lot.
Archer turns to you and says, "They with you?"
Yes, they are. She sort of gives him a hug, even though she doesn't really know him that well. She's really excited.
"We'll be there soon," Archer says.
Good. Sorry about that. Good. We can do this.
Archer will give you a pat on the shoulder before he turns to the rest of the crew. That is when the four down below, you can clearly see a flying ship in the distance, and it is about to fly over your heads. Probably within the next few minutes, it'll fly over your heads.
Whoa! Let's signal that, right? And
Yes.
You guys recognize that ship. You know what that ship is.
yeah,
Totally.
I get ready to cast some spells to do signals.
Okay.
Perfect.
What would
Good,
you like
good.
to cast?
Do you want me to?
Could I do a grease spell in a shape?
That's
So-
perfect.
So we could just set it on fire and then it burns.
You could do that. Were you going to say something, Hannah?
I was just gonna ask if you wanted Theo to shoot an arrow up. But Andrea's idea sounds cooler, so.
What do we want to write? What do we want to write real quick? Because I can write something with grease and then light it on fire. So hurry, pick something before the ship goes by.
8 equals D. Just really.
8.
Stupid, but very honest.
Did we have a symbol? Did we have like a shape symbol for the Penta'Viv?
A star.
Yeah, it had-
Yeah, star. Yes.
I want to make that.
Big
I
stuff.
want to make that as big
Okay.
as I can. My grease spell's pretty big. I
Yes.
can stretch it out pretty far.
What school of magic is Greece? Is that?
Primal. Oh no,
Primal?
just kidding. It's creation.
Yes, I figured it was creation. Roll a creation, please.
Sure. Oops. No.
This is in addition to this. This is in addition to seeing if the if the spell works. In addition to that,
Okay.
because I want to see if you can spell this thing
Okay.
correctly. Ken is looking down there and says, "That's not spelled right. That should be an A."
Yeah, she spelled right.
She
21.
spells it. Okay.
21.
All right. Now go ahead and make sure that it works. Make sure the casting works. All right. You're fine.
Ooh, that's
So what are you spelling out on the ground?
I'm trying to make the Penta'Viv shape.
Ah, that's right. You're trying to make the Penta'Viv shape. Yes, you can clearly make that on the ground. It's
nice.
large enough so that the ship should be able to see it if anyone's looking down on the ground.
Oh,
And then I touch my hand. I do my fire hand and just touch it to it when it gets close enough.
Nice.
Captain!
You yell out, and Captain Maelstrom makes her way towards your direction. What is it? My Avarian guest? What's got you all excited?
My friends, they're down there. I know that symbol. Trust me. We need to land.
Vic sort of has a telescope with him right now, and he's looking down towards where Ken is yelling at. Well, I do
Let me
see something.
Let me see.
Whoa! Oh, okay. So you take it away from the massive fiery golem and start looking, and yeah, you can clearly see right by the stars. You can clearly see several of your friends, several of your companions.
They're alive! We're here. Wellington for the land a ship.
With that, she turns to Captain Maelstrom turns to Vic and says, "You heard the lady, Vic. Let's go ahead and hover it up right above them. They will take the Tempest Stream and it will drive itself just above everybody, and they will throw down the ladder as well as the lift. Now the lift could probably pick up Owlet. I think it'd be difficult to get the entire grove on the ship right now. At this
Sure,
moment.
sure.
But I'm sure it can take Owlet.
If Owlet wants to, yeah, she'd see what Owlet wants to do. Because worst case scenario, she can take Acorn.
Owlet looks up and says, "That's very high."
It is. Do you want to stay here with your people? We need to be able to talk to you.
I don't feel particularly comfortable going into a structure that's fully made of wood.
I get that. I get that.
If such a situation happened to you, I'm sure you would be a little weirded out too.
Right. Would you maybe want to meet us at the White Spire?
He says, "We can make our way there, unless you want us to simply hang out here if you're coming back this way anyway."
Are we? I don't know.
We don't know yet.
It's your decision. It's your choice. Tell us what you would
Well,
prefer us to
we have to come this way to get back to Navarra anyway, right?
If you take this route back, yes. If you want to double back this way, yes, you can.
Is it the quickest route back to Navarra, or is it a detour?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
Okay.
quickest.
So if we're coming back anyway, then that's probably better than us bringing an army of Sylvans into Valroyo.
Sure.
Just not sure kind of reaction I might get. So
What? You don't think they'd be
you're
cool with
happy.
Hmm.
If you're happy, Owlet, staying here with your companions.
It matters not. We can move a bit faster on foot than the rest of you.
Indeed. All right. Stay on foot then. Maybe you'll find some more trees along the way. Be careful. You are a leader of people now.
Take care of LaQuisha.
She will give you sort of like a wave. It's weird. Like she waves like this, as if she doesn't quite know how to hold her hand properly. So she waves like that. And Razakael is still like looking at the two trees that are covering up their oranges from her. Still looking at them. She's looking at them and she says, "One of these days," she says, "one of these days," and she'll climb up the ladder.
And following right up the ladder right behind her, she also makes a point of looking at those trees, but not until you're ready.
Consent.
Yes.
Yes. We need to teach Razakael that no means no.
Yes, no means no. She will also give Owlet and Acorn a hug before hopping up.
Yes. Acorn can definitely fly up the ship, though.
Sure.
Cedric will allow whoever else to go up first, and whenever they do, he will begrudgingly get on the ladder and slowly climb up, making sure not to look down.
Aww.
Cedric,
probably-
you have
probably saying
literally
something from the
flown before. I'm like, you've flown. Never mind, keep going.
It's just like Smallville when Clark Kent in Smallville is afraid of heights. I love that.
Yes, yes.
It's not so much the height; it's just the shit.
It's history
It's the
repeating
shit,
itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have his bracer, so he can't fly now.
Yeah, he can't fly right now.
He's like, oh man, this is gonna suck. So he's probably like saying like some small part of the chant as he's like like vice gripping the ladder, like, going up.
When all of you get up to the ladder, what does Kenna do? When all of you
She's
get
been
up to
kissing and hugging everyone as they come up, one by one.
Oh,
Aw,
Yay, it's my favorite ever.
you're safe.
I kiss and hug her back.
I miss everyone so much.
I'm so glad you're okay.
I'm so glad you all are okay. How did you get out?
How did you find a flying fish?
Yeah, I think you won that one.
What? What?
I said, how did you find a flying ship?
Oh, you know, happenstance.
The Captain Maelstrom will come to the group and she will address you with a very authoritative voice and say, "Welcome, newcomers. I'd like to begin by introducing myself. I am Captain Maelstrom, the captain of this ship. I would like for you all to please mind and respect the crew while you are here on board the ship. You are all here by invitation from our friend here," she says, pointing to Kenna. Please be sure that you follow the rules on the ship at all times in order for us to have a safe and pleasant voyage. We will be setting our sights to Valroyo and the White Spire, unless anyone has any issues with that.
No,
Thank you
ma'am.
for your hospitality, Captain.
Thank you, Captain.
She nods. If you need anything, feel free to speak with my first mate, Vicious Vic. Don't mind his appearance, she says, as she points to the fiery, magma-looking,
Hey!
golem.
Okay, we've met.
Oh, yes. You're
You!
one of those two people who are behind that wall.
Right, and you're Flamey Golem guy. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, it's Vic. You can call me Vic. Good to see you. Glad to see that
Yeah.
you ended up not starving after all.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Well-
You're in a ship now?
Yeah. I've been on this ship for a while.
How does it take the weight?
What are you trying to say? Rude.
You know what? Never mind.
Totally rude. I agree.
You're not, he says, just for that, you're not getting any mints on your bed tonight.
Oh my god,
no.
he's adorable. Do you really put
He
mints
laughs.
on
He laughs and gives you like a punch on the shoulder, which kind of hurts a bit. He just goes, I'm just kidding around with you. He says,
Ow.
See, I didn't get any mints.
And very quietly, Hallie leans over to Cedric. New sparring partner?
Maybe once we land.
Oh,
Vicious Vix will go back to the helm, and Archer will give you guys a wave as well.
Hallie,
Now-
it really... I think my shoulder's dislocated.
Oh, do you want me to rub it for you and make it better?
Maybe later.
It's so good to see all of you.
it's so good to see you too.
I don't understand how, why, where.
I feel like I have the same questions. Violetta, is that you?
They're not quite full questions.
And certainly not the first time we've asked those same questions.
To respond to Kenna, Violetta will wave. Hello, my variant princess. It's good to see you
Oh.
just as
I give her a
fine as
hug.
before. And she gives you a big hug back.
What are you doing here?
She said, well, it's a long story. With everything crazy going on within the last month, I decided to do a bit of personal investigation in Lavara and ran into these two, she says, pointing at Cedric and Andrea.
By ran into, she means she saved us. Just...
survive.
So everything's okay. Nobody got injured.
Not physically, at least, she says.
What do you mean?
Well, I think that Cedric and Andrea had quite a bit of an adventure in the Fade, where they met a couple of interesting people, one of whom ended up finding some very difficult truths about her past. She's, as you can see, no longer with us. She's still alive, she's just dealing with some new information.
Yes.
Nothing she can't handle.
She'll come back to us eventually.
Are there some stories we need to tell?
Yeah.
Yes, actually. I need to talk to you, Theo, actually.
Oh.
Oh no, what did I do? I'm sorry.
Many things. You're in so much trouble.
I didn't know that was perfume. I'm sorry.
What have you done to my perfume?
Nothing.
Perfume.
It's very expensive. You better not
Rosie's
have touched it.
Ah, dirty dwarf.
I met the Black King, and you shouldn't be going through my bottles. I have a habit of keeping poisons too.
Honestly, the two of you.
I didn't think it was possible to like you more.
He gave
The
me
Black
this.
King.
Yeah, he gave me this really cool staff. I hope
Yes.
not a really cool staff.
Yes, it's in the shape of it's actually a spear, but it can also double as a staff, a mage staff as well, spear staff.
Interesting.
Wait,
Whoa.
why was the Black King in the Fade?
Well, that's the thing. He was going to solve the problems and fight a guy named Perseus, Cedric, I think. And because he thinks he may have been released because the Fade has gone everywhere, and but essentially he's gone in to do single combat, and as the I guess the representative to the dwarven people, he wants to make sure that you extend his bravery and his tale to your king.
I'm telling my king he went off to fight someone called Corypheus.
Yeah, and he's, sacrificing himself to save the world, that kind of thing. Because that's what he's doing.
Okay. Right. So he wins. This is all over.
No, it's just if he wins, then it doesn't continue with someone else apparently, because this person's just as bad as what we have to deal with Matharath.
Hopefully not very many people are nearby when he wins.
Yeah, because he has an explosive personality. Let's just put it that way.
Sounds like you've been through too much.
We all have.
I'm fine. I have, Cedric, Razakel, and Violetta. We were fine.
Of that, I have no doubt.
How about you, Kenna? You were alone.
I was, but not for long.
Clearly, you got a ship.
I was in the Fade, and then I was out of the Fade, and then I ran into... You guys, there are survivors! My
Of the
people
Avo?
are alive. The ones that haven't been reborn, they're alive. I found them, and I ran into Gerard, Malcolm's son. And
Malcolm's boy.
He's just, I love him. and
Did you tell him? Did you tell him we were spreading the business cards?
he was, yes, we did. I did. I did. And also, I ran into Cersei.
Oh. Yeah.
He was very helpful, and a nice dwarf.
He probably had an ulterior motive.
I didn't think to ask. Honestly, I was really lost. I ended up way outside Navarre.